Yo, what is up YouTube? Back with another video, and in today's video we're going to be talking about the Steelers-Ravens Thanksgiving matchup, highly anticipated game of the season. I'm sure a lot of you have been looking forward to this game. I believe that many of you didn't believe the Steelers would actually have a 4-game advantage over the Ravens coming into this game. So win or lose, the Steelers basically got this division locked up. But if the Steelers keep winning games, they can be one of the first teams to go 16-0 and win the Super Bowl. But before we get into anything, I would like you to comment down below your predictions of this game. And please hit the subscribe button. And if you are the closest, I will put your comments in the video. Last week's winner of the Jaguars Steelers was Amir Pitchford, guessing a score of 29-3. Realistically, the score was 27-3. No one had the exact score written down, but I was actually closer than all of you. I said in my video, I thought the score of the game was going to be 28-3. So that's what I thought. So comment down below, hit that subscribe button. Let's get into it. So I think the most important thing to talk about is which players from which team is going to be inactive or at least injured. So we know that this is confirmed that 2 of the 3 Baltimore Ravens running backs have COVID and they are going to miss this game. That being, of course, J.K. Dobbins and Mark Ingram. That is basically detrimental to the run game for the Ravens because the Steelers' defensive line is really good and they're basically relying on Gus Edwards and Lamar Jackson to run the football. The Ravens had success in running the football against the Pittsburgh Steelers last time they played. I honestly believe it was because they had 4 different players who can run it. But now, get rid of 2 of them, which are really good, and you're only down to Gus Edwards and Lamar. I'll talk about that specific matchup later. And on the other side of the football, we have the Steelers, who had 2 injuries during the Jaguars game with 2 very important players, Joe Hayden and Juju Smith-Schuster. Both of these players are going to play in this game. And Mike Tomlin said Juju's injury isn't really that serious, but it's the fact that they only have a 4-day week to prepare, which is kind of bad for Juju's toe injury. But I believe he'll play, and hopefully nothing bad happens. Also, Joe Hayden, I believe he'll be healthy enough. He could have played the rest of that Jaguars game, but they really didn't need to play him, especially if he felt a little banged up. But still, I think both these players will be good to go. So, let's talk about the Ravens. This team has lost 3 of their last 4 games, and 2 of them were home games. Many people thought this team was going to go 16-0, yet they're 6-4 start of the season. On their counterpart, Steelers are 10-0. We already know the story. But the Ravens, why are they losing games? It's because teams are abusing their defensive line and they're running the ball all over them. And on the other side of the football, Lamar Jackson is not the best quarterback in the league. He's just very good at running the football. And if defenses can stop Lamar from running the football, it's basically over from the start because it forces Lamar Jackson to throw it. And it's really not that hard when he has 2 main receivers. Of course, Mark Andrews, the tight end, and Marquise Brown, the embarrassing wide receiver. So, like I said, with Mark Ingram and J.K. Dobbins out of this game, that is such a big loss for this Ravens team. And that simple fact that these 2 players are out could mean this Ravens offense is going to struggle a lot in this game. I say this because Lamar could not throw the football against the Steelers last time they played. 2 interceptions. That was just embarrassing. He threw a pick 6 and an interception in a very important time of the game. And the only reason why the Ravens played good offensively against the Steelers is because they could run the football. But with 2 of the running backs out, that's a huge loss. This basically means that the Ravens are going to be forced to throw the football more because the Steelers already know how to stop Lamar from running it. So it just forces Lamar to throw it. And that is not a good thing for the Ravens offense, because Pittsburgh's secondary is playing like the best in the league right now. Of course, they had 4 picks against Jake Luton, but it's Jake Luton. He was inaccurate. But still, Minka Fitzpatrick, Steven Nelson, Joe Hayden, and Terrell Edmonds have been lights out the entire season, and especially last game against the Jaguars. This team is not allowing the passing game, and I just honestly feel bad for the Ravens in this one. Honestly, knowing that the Ravens aren't going to have a good offensive game, this basically comes down to how well the Steelers' offense performs. And honestly, is that even a question? It's playing really good. It can score. They have 3 receivers, all with 500 receiving yards. Deontay Johnson is emerging as a top receiver in the NFL. The dude had 12 receptions. Jake Luton had 12 completions. Just look at that comparison right there. And then, of course, Chase Claypool is basically their touchdown generator. Anytime they need to score, it goes to him. Deontay Johnson's crafty down the field. You want some yardage, give the ball to him. And if you want the tough plays, third down, if you need third down and short, third down and long, throw the ball to Juju Smith-Schuster. The dude will deliver for the first. Need another player to throw the football to for a touchdown? There you go. There's Eric Ebron in their red zone, like he has been all season, scoring touchdowns for them. So, the weakness for the Steelers team was their rushing game. Tomlin said he was going to address it, and he did a really good job against the Jaguars. But that's the Jaguars. They had 100 rushing yards for James Conner. Pretty good day for him. And fortunately for the Steelers, the Ravens' defensive line, their rushing defense, has been playing really bad over the last couple weeks. So that could be a bright spot for James Conner. But the last time we saw these two teams play, James Conner was absolutely destroyed. They could not run the football against the Ravens. But like I said, I don't think Pittsburgh's offense is going to have too many problems in this game. And honestly, this whole game revolves around one player. I said it last week, I'll say it again. This game revolves around Lamar Jackson and his ability to throw the football. If Mark Andrews is covered the entire game, which is probably going to happen, this team is going to struggle against the Steelers. It did once, and it will again. And especially with this team just turning the ball over so many times, I believe Lamar should throw a couple picks in this game. And ultimately, he's the reason why the Steelers are going to win and start 11-0. So, comment down below who you think is going to win this game. I think the Steelers are the best team in the league, and they're not losing at home to Baltimore. Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed. Adios.